narrative of Jesus Christ. But long before there was Solomon, Abraham, Jesus Christ, there was also Osiris. You mentioned the Kemetic doctrines. Now Osiris, if you read Herodotus, book 3, will tell you that when he visited the Ethiopians, and he lived like 450 BC, he told you that the Ethiopians have told me that Osiris, the King of Kings, listen closely, and God of gods, was the leader of the people who created Egypt, the Ethiopians. So
okay. So there's a difference. So when we say Freemasonry, we say it from the Kemetic form, which is Ethiopian from origin. Remember, that's why the seals is there. Egypt. What was Egypt before they name it Egypt? Huh? The Nile flows. It's the lower peninsula of Ethiopia, of Kush, Nubia, whatever you want to call it. All right? So use wisdom, my brothers. And if you want reason, we can reason. But bring fact. If you don't have fact or the proper accreditations, right? Then use humbleness. Use humbleness. Pray for wisdom. King Solomon was the wisest of all. Haile Selassie is the descendant of King Solomon. I acknowledge Haile Selassie as Lord and Savior, King of Kings, God of God.
Kemetic doctrines. Now Osiris, if you read Herodotus, book 3, will tell you that when he visited the Ethiopians, and he lived like 450 BC, he told you that the Ethiopians have told me that Osiris, the King of Kings, listen closely, and God of gods, was the leader of the people who created Egypt, the Ethiopians. So this title, King of Kings, and Haile Selassie being God, that throne is even farther than Abraham or Solomon. That throne belongs to the King of Kings and God of God, Osiris, and his wife, Isis.
That is very deep, my brother. If any other young brothers out there would like to learn more about the Rastafarian order here in Atlanta, how may they contact you?
Well, right now I'm operating through the Melchizedek House Progressive Movement. I think that's the best place to be in touch with me. And we can reason about a lot of other things that cannot be really reasoned about right here now, you know. Because even the concept of Osiris and the connection with His Majesty has not been fathomed by or understood by most Rastafarians. Most of this will be new to them because the concept of the divinity of His Majesty lies within the Bible. And that brings me back to the question that was not answered fully. Why there is so much different sect of Rastafarian, because the concept that is in the Bible, just like how you have many different denominations of Christianity, you can find many different things within the Bible, so you can create a sect from it. Right? The 12 tribes of Israel, it mainly deals with the 12 tribes of Israel as it states. I mean, having locks, eating idol food, all these concepts was taken out of the Bible by the Nyabingi. Now, what we call the Bobo Shanti is also an extension of the same Nyabingi, but a different set of priesthood within the same Nyabingi. That's the next thing to is written in the history books, you know, about Prince Emmanuel and the Bobo Shanti.
And once again, what was the name of the brother from the Nyabingi order who was acknowledged as a Kemetic Freemason?
Well, he wasn't from the Nyabingi order. You see, the movement had about 3 cycles up till now. And I think we're moving into a new cycle. It's a cycle of the 21st century. when history will come full circle and go beyond Christ into Osiris. But the name of this person that you're asking me about was Brother Hibbert. He was a member of the Ethiopian Masonic Society in Costa Rica. Now, Brother Hibbert, Brother Howell, and another brother named Brother Dunkley, they were the three main people between 1931 to mid-40s who were the main proponents, the main propagandists of the Rastafarian movement. They developed the movement from its foundation.
Now, a lot of people see the emblem on my card here.
Yeah.
What is with that emblem? Does that emblem have any meaning?
Yes, that emblem have a lot of meaning, and most Rastafarians, because what happened in the 1940s, the rejection of the teachings of these three elders, they move away from the Kemetic insight of the Rastafarian movement. But as I tell you, the 21st century Rasta will now have to see that those emblems as a part of our historical inheritance. And now we have to know that these emblems were created, these are implements of advancement by black people, by Kemetic Ethiopians. You know, these show when we had the skill of learning to build things, measurements, and so forth.
Right. Because in fact, if you look at it, it is a compass and it is square.
Correct.
It's also a symbol of measurement, like you said, and traveling. They used to use that to travel across the seas before computer, correct?
Well, I am not so versed in that.
Yeah.
I can't really go into that right now, but my understanding from is true to get the knowledge of the divinity of Haile Selassie. I could not leave out the Kemetic tradition. Because through the Kemetic tradition, one can prove the true divinity of man.
Thank you, my brethren. Respect.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else you would like to say in closing?
Well, in closing, I want one to understand that you call yourself a Rastafarian. You definitely have to understand that Haile Selassie, if you are a Rastafarian, is your God, King, and Savior. And that's not an easy journey. So don't go around call yourself a Rastafarian without fully knowing that knowledge. If you don't fully within that knowledge, you can call yourself a practicing Rastafarian because you're practicing to reach that knowledge. But if you're going to say you're a Rastafarian, you have to now prove, as Rastafari Haile Selassie said to us Rastafarian, we must not pretend or assume that the human can be gained.
Blessing, my brother. Thank you. Yes, in the name of His Majesty, Imperial Haile Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, return to earth. We are descendants carrying on the work of His Majesty, not our own, but the work of His Majesty. So it's not our will we are dealing with, it's Rastafari will. And Jah is Jah, and Jah is Jah alone. You see? Yo, so yous are all my brothers out there, and I love you same way. There's only one love, one aim, one goal, and one destiny. So it's time for unify and reclaim what is rightfully ours. This is ours by birthright. So that's why you held up the sign, and we recognize you. Rasta are the highest, point blank, period. But remember, when you read the Bible, you are reading in fact a Masonic script. Ethiopia itself is a Christian nation. This is undeniable. So, once again, Jah love, Jah guide, Jah protect. Selassie, Rastafari.